to cap off 2024, I decided to go over my favorite engine swaps added to a game this year. So these are my top 5 favorites. They may not be the best, they may not be your favorite, but they are the engine swaps that really stood out to me this year. So we gotta start off with this, the BMW M4. Now the BMW M4 can receive the engine swap out of the BMW Z4 GT3 vehicle. So that means this vehicle has great power and great fuel consumption, and with it being in the BMW M4, it is an absolute dream to handle. Now when it comes to going around circuit, you can set very fast and consistent lap times. The vehicle is easy to drive, easy to control, but it is far from boring, because with the BMW producing just under 800 horsepower, it has more than enough power to light up the rear wheels. So yes, it can slide about if you really wanted to, but that's the thing, you have to push it to slide. If you don't want it to slide, it will not slide. This vehicle is so focused, and it has a sole purpose of just getting you around a circuit extremely quickly. Now around Kyoto Driving Park, I found myself setting lap times around the 1 minute 30 second mark, which is quite commendable. Anything faster than a 1 minute 35 second lap time around the circuit is a fast competitive vehicle, and anything around the 1 minute 30 second mark is a overpowered vehicle. And now looking at the fact that this vehicle is setting a 1 minute 30 second lap time, this vehicle is overpowered. Now with it having the engine from a Group 3 vehicle, as I said, the fuel consumption has increased, which means you can use this vehicle for money grinding purposes. And that's what I love about it, is the usability. It gives me a reason to come back to a BMW M4. But once again, this vehicle, when it comes to just its handling, the way it puts down its power, it shows you that not every single engine swap needs 1000 horsepower to be fun, because the BMW M4 with the BMW Z3 GT3 engine in it is such a fun vehicle to have. You are able to do over 300 kilometers per hour. It has fantastic braking, and overall it's just a great driving experience. And if you haven't checked this engine swap out, I highly recommend you do. But one engine swap I will always stand by and always recommend you to try out has to be this one. This is the Mercedes-Benz 190e 16 Evo 2. Now it's a very long name for a very fantastic vehicle. Now this vehicle can actually receive the engine from the Mercedes AMG GT3 car. So this is a very powerful vehicle of almost 800 horsepower, Group 3 engine, which means insanely good at fuel consumption. But what I love about this vehicle is with max downforce, max power and racing hard tires is sub 700 performance points, which means you have full power when it comes to the WTC 700 around Le Mans. This is one of my go-to money grinding vehicles, and I have nothing but good experiences with it. This vehicle traveled over 300 kilometers per hour with absolute ease, and it just keeps chugging along. When it comes to handling, it is extremely grippy, it has tons of downforce, and it's just a fun vehicle to drive. Now yes, it may not be a good vehicle for drifting in my experience, because that's the thing, the vehicle doesn't want to slide out, it doesn't want to drift. The vehicle just wants to set fast lap times, and that's exactly what it's good, and that's exactly what it does, and that's exactly what it's good at. This is a fantastic vehicle that I loved every single moment I'm in. So when it comes to weekly challenges or any events, you might find me jumping into this vehicle or just always coming back to it, because that's how good of an engine swap this Mercedes-Benz has. It's one of, if not, it is one of the best engine swaps in Gran Turismo 7, and I will stand and die on that hill. So with that being said, if you don't have this engine swap, I highly recommend you do. It is cost effective, and honestly it's so easy to drive, and there's nothing that I can really fault with this engine swap. Yes, it may not be the fastest engine swap you'll drive, but my word, is it gonna be one of the best you will ever experience. Now If you are looking for a high horsepower engine swap, well, you can look at the Ford Raptor, because the Ford Raptor now receives the engine swap from the GAC Maverick. So this vehicle produces over 1,400 brake horsepower, which is absolutely no joke. Now, with it being a Ford Raptor, you gotta remember, it's a van, it's a pickup truck at the end of the day. So this vehicle can go off-road, and 1,400 horsepower off-road is no joke. But when I tell you, it is such a fun experience. It's one that you will enjoy every single second of. There was no point when I was driving this vehicle did I end up with no smile on my face, because it just brings so much joy, and I just love every single moment of it. It's such a fantastic vehicle, and honestly, the engine swap is quite affordable, coming in at 250,000 credits. So when it comes to horsepower for money, this is an absolute bang for your buck engine swap. And the fact that you gotta remember, it has all-wheel drive, so this vehicle can also be used for drag racing. So your options are quite open. But honestly, the Ford Raptor is an absolute beast with this engine swap in it, and one that I do not regret engine swapping. So hey, if you have the time or the money just laying around, you might want to consider trying this engine swap out. We are going to talk about off-roading. Well, I have to bring up this next engine swap, and this is the Mitsubishi Evo 8, and this can actually receive the engine from the Subaru BRZ drift car. So this has a turbocharged LS7 that produces over 1,200 horsepower, and when I tell you, this is one of the quickest cars I've ever experienced off-road. This vehicle handles this level of power extremely well, and it does everything well. It's just great at everything except money grinding, because with the turbocharged LS7 that comes out of the Subaru, well, it is extremely thirsty. It is an absolute gas guzzler. So when it comes to money grinding, this vehicle is not the best, but when I tell you, it is still an absolute weapon. Whether you want to take it off-roading, whether you want to go drifting, whether you want to go circuit racing, drag racing, whatever your cup of tea is, this vehicle can adapt to what you want, and is one that you need. I'm not saying, oh, if you have the money you must try it out. You need to pick up this engine swap, because that's how good it is. I enjoyed every single second with this engine swap. Cannot falter a thing with this engine swap, because frankly, that's how good this engine swap is. And lastly, I have to bring up the absolutely bonkers Audi R8 V10 Plus. Now this Audi standard is absolutely fantastic, and you can race against some of the fastest cars in the game. But if that's not enough for you, well, you can then swap in the engine from the Bugatti Chiron, and that makes this vehicle ridiculous. It's insanely fast, to a point where around Kyoto Driving Park you go completely airborne. You have to calibrate and just realign yourself, because you cannot just jump into this vehicle and expect, you know, this vehicle is not like many other cars in the game. When it comes to the speed, the acceleration, the braking, the turning, everything about this vehicle is next level. It turns up to 11, and it's just a fantastic vehicle. So I had to bring it up when it comes to the best, or not even the best, my favorite engine swaps from 2024, because I cannot leave out the insanity which is the Audi R8 with the Bugatti Chiron engine in it. So with this being said, I would love to hear what your favorite engine swap was in the comment section down below. Before I end off this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported the channel throughout the year. 2025 we come back bigger and stronger. So with that being said, so I'll catch you guys in the new year with the next video. Peace.